Hi everyone! So today I want to show you my new mini 4x4 trophy truck, and it was all possible thanks to the new parts that were introduced in the Skyline. And those new parts are the 4-studded long links and the 4-studded long CV joints. So first I'm gonna quickly talk about the model, how it works in theory, then we're gonna test it outside, and then we'll see what we can learn from it. So 4x4 trophy truck. So we have all-wheel drive, powered by two BuWizz motors. Of course, we also have steering, so the front axle steers, powered by a powered-up L motor, and of course we have suspension, and we have independent suspension on all four wheels. Now I realize the real trophy trucks use a solid rear axle, but in this case it was much easier and much more compact, and everything. It was much better to do independent rear suspension, because a proper solid axle would require a longer drive axle, so the model would be longer. Then I would have to build a chassis around it, and so on and so on. So this proved a much simpler and much more robust solution. So we have around 3 studs of suspension in the rear, so around 2.5 centimeters, and a bit less in the front, so I would say around 2 centimeters. Now, when we talk about suspension, there is one thing worth mentioning. If we check the way the suspension acts in the rear and in the front, in the rear you can see that the wheel is traveling parallel to the chassis. But in the front, the wheel is traveling in an arc. So you might be wondering, why is the wheel traveling in an arc and how did you do it? So first, how did I do it? So let's imagine this is a normal suspension setup. The black beam is the wheel that goes up and down. The red beam is the drive shaft. So in normal suspension setup with a double wishbone suspension of the equal length, the wheel is always parallel to the body, to the chassis, whatever, and the drive axle has to carry the torque over these two angles. What I did in this model is I placed these two suspension arm points closer, so now that the wheel goes in an arc, and that means that this CV joint, this particular angle here, is much lower when the suspension goes up and down, because for every degree that this wheel turns in an arc, that's 1 degree less of that this CV joint has to carry. And this is the answer of why I did it. I did this so I can have both a nice suspension angle and a good steering angle, while not overloading the CV, which can only go to around 25 degrees. So the Lego small CV joint can only handle a maximum of 25 degrees, which is why I use this kind of setup. Another advantage is that I also gain half a stud of ground clearance here, where the axle would be on its lowest, and that of course also means more ground clearance, means more suspension travel and more fun. So that's the practice. One thing also worth mentioning is that I'm using 2 steering racks, one in the front, one in the rear, and 4 links, so that the steering system is extremely stiff. It's very robust, something like AWD's one, and it is very accurate, and we get around 20 to 25 degrees of steering angle and 2 centimeters of suspension travel, all done with 4-stud long suspension arms. So the model seems like nice and proper on paper. Now let's see how it works in practice. so as you've seen in the video, the model is really fun to drive. The suspension is quite reactive, especially in the rear, because it has more travel there and it is slightly softer. And the model itself proved to be very robust. As you can see, almost none, there were no issues with things falling out. I think I only once lost one of the links, but I didn't lose any parts, and the model was quite reliable, except for one small detail. You might have heard some clicking noises, and that was because of the way the original driveline was made. So as you can see here in LEGO Digital Designer, the original driveline used a combination of a 12-tooth spur gear that is driving two 20-tooth bevel gears. The reason I did that was because I wanted to hide this transmission with a 5x11 panel, and using a normal 20-tooth gear would start grinding on the panel. But that proved to be a weak point, so I replaced this kind of gearing with two 16-tooth gears. And I also replaced the normal differentials with these red ones, and in the end I do get the same exact gear ratio as before. So instead of 12 to 20 and 20 to 28, now I have 16 to 16 and 12 to 28. The end gear ratio is the same, but the driveline is much more robust. So the only weak point left now are the inner CV joints. Unlike the outer ones, which are held inside the hub, the inner ones are not held by anything, so they can kind of spread apart and cause the CV to fall out and fail. So in order to prevent that, I also gave it a bit of more current reduction, so I reduced the current limiters from 2 amps to 1.5 amps, and now there are no problems with any of the gears or CV joints failing or slipping. Another thing that might be worth working on in the future is that because in the front I put these arms together, it means there is that the whole wheel very slightly, like we're talking about parts half a millimeter, the whole front wheel moves half a millimeter closer to the chassis, to the center, which means it also pushes the CV joints a bit closer, which means there is much less slack in the CV joints in the front than in the rear. That might also be a useful idea for the future, so that I implement a similar system in the back, where the wheel goes in an arch, but in the back that system would not be just to reduce the load, the maximum angles on the CVs, but to actually kind of push them closer together, so there is less slack. Less slack means much less gap, much less slack for the CV to fall out and to fail. So that's the idea for the future, but for now I am really happy with the way this model turned out. It is so much fun to drive, and it's nice and small. You can put it in backpack, take it anywhere, and you don't have to worry about anything failing or breaking. It's one of my strongest, robustest models so far. I really like it, and if you like it too, then please like, share and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you a nice day. Bye bye!